So this is a mod that adds custom bosses to the game, and not gonna lie, it's pretty sick. Shouts out to Warperson for creating this one. It's a boss pack that adds 5 bosses to the game. Not gonna be covering all of them in this video. So each one is not quite as complex as the bosses that you already see in the game. They each have their own little special effects. So let's start with this one. This one's called the Demon Prince. It has an immunity to purple, and it looks like the effect is that it's just a life drainer, kind of like, well, the vampire sucks the lives out of you. And Warperson was kind enough to leave all the stats just for our reference. And I guess for this first boss here, we're gonna give it a go on firing range hard mode. It's also cool that this mod, it looks pretty legit with that boss appears in 37 rounds text and a little, little blood icon, kind of similar to how all the bosses have their own little icon. Again, the name of the game of this boss is that it drains lives. So every X amount of seconds, depending on the tier, it'll remove 2 lives. So it's very important to, I guess, get all the life makers. So stuff like marketplaces will be good. Benjamin, I guess, is good, but he only gets you lives up to your starting amounts. But biggest of them all is the Skull Effect, which removes 50 times current round over 40 lives, and it's floored occasionally, so I think for the last tier, that would be 150 lives. And that would, of course, happen 5 times, because there's 5 skulls, so yeah. Definitely gonna need to bank up a lot of them. But overall, this seems like just a fairly simple meat shield boss, at least that's what I can see. Also, if you take a look at the scaling, aka the HP of the boss, it looks like it doesn't scale nearly as hard as the Elite, at least for the later tiers. The Tier 1 looks like a decent amount of Elite HP, but the Tier 5 seems pretty low in HP, so it feels like if you get past the first tiers, then we can pretty much win in the later tiers, especially since it feels like lives are the hardest to come by in the early game, because later on we'll have enough lives, of course, or enough money to get all the life-making things. Right now, all I gotta do is rely on marketplaces. +1 at the end of each round. Like, if we look at other life-giving abilities or towers, then we got Chinook, which is obviously way too expensive, and there's also Spirit of the Forest, which is also, well, way too expensive, so let's see. So there's 3 skulls, which means we're gonna lose 150 lives at minimum, not to mention the every 2 lives that we lose, so it seems like the math doesn't add up and that we'll lose. Although, who knows, maybe we'll make enough lives back in time. Now, let me just use Ben ability just to not lose any lives here, and here we go. Coming into round 40. So I guess for starters, I will sell one of this for a Sticky Bomb, and we'll have it take its time, I guess. So it's 2 lives every 9 seconds. Let's see if we can notice it. Yep, it drains. And also, there's a really bad thing that's happened, and the game isn't going forward. Which means that we'll lose, because, well, again, I need to have 150 lives, and I was assuming the rounds were going to keep going, because otherwise, how would, well, yeah, how would I make enough lives? Well, okay, maybe this is a little bit more difficult than I expected, so, I guess back to the drawing board. Well, for starters, I guess we'll try not to lose any lives, early on in the game, so gonna have to just go for an early sub, maybe greed a little bit less. Also, because lives are so important, I think we're going to try to rush a marketplace early, so after only 4 creative productions instead of 6. Okay, sadly, it looks like even with this method, we are going to be 8 lives short, and that's, like, assuming we insta-kill it, which, of course, we don't have right now. So, let's try that again, I guess. Okay, new plan. We're even going to sell a marketplace or one of the creative productions early for a marketplace, just to see if, any of it really will make a difference. Okay, so I think with this new build, I can barely get enough lives. I'm just gonna sell the sub for another marketplace as well, just to, capitalize on the greed. And yeah, it does add up. 4 more rounds, 5 each, means, wow. I have 3 lives extra, so I can afford to take 1 tick of 3 lifer, or the 2 lifer. Definitely didn't expect getting the lives so this be so difficult, but do remember that I did end up picking hard mode. That might be the reason, farming. Getting those first marketplaces makes it a lot harder to actually get up 50 lives over the limit. Now we just gotta make sure we don't leak to any of this and lose our mana shield. So let's just end this round cleanly, please. Okay, 1 red balloon leaks, that's fine. So now we gotta, again, treat it like a rank boss and nearly insta-kill it. Do you think Attack Stone plus Embrittlement will be enough to take it down fast enough? Again, it's every 9 seconds, so I have up to 18 seconds if the math adds up. Let me just see if I can afford an Embrittlement as well on top of this. I can. So I'm just gonna play and just see, well, how far first does the boss spawn? Okay, that's too far away. Like, it's doing good damage, but that's not giving me enough. Is it? Yeah, it's gonna do less and less and less, dang. Let's just see when we go down to 49 lives, yeah. Okay. Alright, let's try something silly. Outbuff the attack zone, and then buy an embrittlement. This is just a double dip, you know? And then we'll keep buying and reselling things. If that makes any sense. And we definitely did a lot better this time, but still not enough. Got down to about 10k HP before we dropped below the life amounts. So after a bit of thought, I think I've been defeated. I think with some insane min-maxing, it might have been possible, but we're just going to ease down the difficulty for my sanity. After all, you're not you when you're angry, so we're gonna drop it down to cracked medium. And it feels like Tax Zone probably is the way to go, because that's probably the fastest thing to take down a tier 1 boss. Oh yeah, not to mention, we don't have to be so stingy on lives, because we have extra lives on medium mode. So this definitely seems like a boss that was meant to be played not on any more than medium mode. Like, frankly, it's pretty much impossible on Impoppable. But I guess you could say the same with Lich. Well, we're certainly looking a lot better than this game, that's for sure. The difference in 8% price increase from medium to hard mix, guys. So, Tax Zone, right? We don't really have to worry about killing it immediately here, so that's why I'm just gonna do tier 3 Outbuff and Attack Zone for now. And, yeah, it did spawn a little bit further back than I expected, but that should overall still be fine, right? Down to 39 lives, probably 37, maybe 35. Okay, we're good. And now, as for usual with all the bosses, we go ahead and sell it, and go for that BRF. And I guess I'll sell this for... Honestly, a D-Breath is not a bad option for the mid-game, so I'll go ahead and get it. I'll probably just buy Grape Shot for purpose or something like that. And yeah, the thing with Tier 2 is that, because of the formula they used, it's actually the same amount of lives that you lose, so we really just need 150 again. Maybe 170 to be super safe. And that should be easily achievable, even without going for marketplaces, because I have Ben giving me, I think, 5 lives per round. So we should pretty much be back up there, full, by the time round 60 comes around, right? Yeah, let's see. We're getting 8 lives per round. Yep, do the math, and we'll definitely be there in time. So no need to worry. So, you think you have enough in the tank for Tier 2? Well, given our money amount, I think certainly. And I guess because we have so much of a cushion, we can probably just go with silly things. So, I did say I want Spear of the Force just for lives. So, I guess I will try and see how that works. It probably won't be very strong, though, just an FYI. But, again, we're just testing here. We'll surround it with 5 Poplas just to give it more damage. And, let's go ahead and play. So, this time, it's got 90k HP. It's actually funny that I think the Monkey Knowledge that decreases MOB HP works on the boss. Which I don't think is supposed to be how it works, but that's the way it is in this game, so yeah. Also, don't forget we have the Thorn attack, and I feel like I should use it just to see how much damage it does, right? Yeah, why not? It does more than DOT, I would assume, so use it. I would say it did about 2,000. Not super amazing, but not terrible either. And looking at our progress here, I think this is definitely more than enough to take it down. Actually, no, hang on. Why are we down to 103 lives all of a sudden? I thought the formula was that it loses 50 lives every skull. Let me just see again. What happened? 99? Oh, 75? Okay, for some reason I thought that we would lose, you know, 50 lives, because I did the formula. And usually the floor is supposed to mean, like, rounding down to the nearest integer, so 60 over 40 is 1/5. That turns it down to 1. But I think they lied to us, so let me try that again real quick. Okay, not gonna lie, I feel kind of screwed here. So I only get 25 lives in the Spear of the Forest. That means I probably need to get, the Chinook. In fact, I'll even go for a Marine, screw it. I still have a lot of farming, so I'm not too worried about that. But I think these two, if I get the cooldown in time, we should have enough to get over 225. So let's see, 25 lives with the Druid ability there, and I'm gonna get a crate real soon. Unfortunately, I really only generate 1 crate from here. That gives 31 lives, okay. And I need to wait for the Spear of the Force ability, so hang on. Let me sell some of these guys. I don't want to do too much damage. I need the plus 25 from the Druid ability before I ramp it up again. No! Dude, I was so close. Did you see that? Like, 2 seconds from using the ability. Okay, fine. We'll use continue, and... wait, this puts me even further off. You wanna know why? Because I'm now back at 175. Because of continue. Guys, this run is quickly becoming a disaster. Very quickly at that. We'll go for multiple Chinooks. I think this is the only way to save the run. Well, I guess take what we get from this boss is that we should definitely not underestimate the power of these bosses. Even though it may look fairly simple on paper, may not quite be the case. when you play it out and be a little bit too lax. Too chill on the rules, if you know what I mean. And luckily, I think we have enough this time. Let's just use the Vine ability and then drop another Marine. And we should have enough after this. Okay, 19 live. Let's see if I can regenerate a couple more. Right, I'm out of Spirit of the Force uses, but I can get 3 more crates right here this round. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, I'm capped at a certain amount. Okay, maybe it's... might need a little bit more. Okay. Okay, trust me. I can definitely kill this before I get down to 0 lives. See? 9 lives left. So, there's Tier 2 finally done. Not gonna lie, progress is going a little slower than I thought, but let's start preparing for Tier 3 by selling pretty much everything I don't need. Honestly, I guess I can just keep Spirit of the Forest for the life generation, but I guess the rest can go, and it can go into the Banana Central. And instead of spamming beer wraps after Central, I kind of have to go for the life play, and that is rushing a Wall Street. That gives you 10 lives at the end of every round, which is going to be huge for us. So if you do the math properly, we're going to need 300 lives minimum for Tier 3. So I think with the Wall Street and just getting more Central Markets after, we should have enough, again, alongside the Spirit of the Force giving 25 lives every ability usage. Yeah, I can really tell I don't want to lose at this point in the game, and I just don't want to get just over 300 lives. I probably want to overshoot just so I can guarantee I survive, well, Tier 4 and 5 as well. Yeah, I think you definitely say we got a pretty safe cushion now, so honestly, why don't we just overkill it? I'm gonna go in and deep on the Demon Prince here, so let's just sell a couple of the Central Markets, and how about the Wall Street too? And let me get up that quick Degree 30 Paragon, just to see how quickly it kills. So it's got 500k HP, 450 with Knowledge, and we should be sitting pretty with the lives, even after the skulls here. So yeah, it is taking away 100 per, and barely taking away any lives with a passive too. It's now increased to 6 seconds, by the way. Every 6 seconds we lose 2 lives, so I think overall we lost about like 310 for that one. Completely fine. And now we'll get rid of it to get more stuff back. That's pretty much it for the boss, guys. Now, just looking forward at the other tiers, I think Tier 4 takes away 500 lives total, 4 skulls, 125 each, and Tier 5 takes away 750, which again, we will regenerate in those 20 rounds of bosses, so I'm not too worried about that. Also, quick reminder for those who don't know, once you get over 1,000 lives, the amount of lives you gain is cut by a drastic percentage, which is why when I used the Jungle ability, or the Spirit of the Forest ability, I only gained 2 lives. It's like 10% of the amount of lives you should gain. So think of it as a soft cap in that sense. Now, let's just get that Apex Plasma Master and end off Tier 4. Should pretty much just work the same way as Tier 3, just a little bit slower. I think we'll just start building up that Ace Paragon for the final tier. And in no time, looks like we've taken down the 1 million HP of the Tier 4. And now let's get the Ace Paragon. I guess one important tidbit I didn't know earlier was that the boss actually increases the speed with tier, this one at least. So Tier 5 is twice the speed as Tier 1, but because the, again, HP doesn't scale as much, we won't really notice that difference, of course. Now let me just remove some clutter, like that. And here we go. How quickly can 2 Paragons take it down? Well, let me add Cripple Moab and Elite Sniper to make things just a wee bit faster. And again, as I said earlier, once you get past the first bits where the lives do matter, this boss pretty much becomes a meat shield, and I can kind of see the speed difference. Got pretty far for it only being on the track for a little bit, and that is it. We've defeated all 5 tiers of the Demon Prince. This took a little bit longer than I expected to beat, so I'll leave it at that for today. Stay tuned for more extensive coverage of the other mods in this boss pack. Can't wait to try those out and see if they will catch me by surprise. Because yeah, sometimes the simplest of ideas can still end up being a little tricky to work around. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.